Rookie running back ranking video. You've been waiting for this one for a while. And this is going to be volatile. We're going to be potentially bouncing around a little bit as the NFL draft approaches. Then landing spots are going to move these guys around. We're always going to be massaging the rankings once landing spots and news and different things break. And when a player is sharing carries, all of a sudden, because of the landing spot, a lot can change. But one of my favorite times of the year is right now. Walking into this moment right here, walking into January 1, January 2, January 15, February, March, and then free agency, breaking down the rookies and kind of stepping in here to say, hey, I like this guy more than this guy, regardless of landing spot. And my running back 3, 4, I'm going to do this live. I'm going to spitball this live. I don't even know exactly where these guys are going to land, except for I've got my 1 and 2 ready to go. My 3 might surprise you if I decide to get a little crafty up in here. My 3 might surprise you greatly. But remember, landing spot, everything depends on landing spot. So we're going to break it down right now. The Fantasy Football Show, Rookie Ranking Edition. The Cam Skattebo Absolute Explosion Show. The Ashton Jeanty is a potential top 5 to 10 running back monster show. That show begins right now. File on in.
Call into the show.
Not yet. Don't call. Wrong button.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Guys, today was a remarkable day for my Arizona State Sun Devils who, oh God, they almost pulled off a major comeback. It was so unbelievable to watch this ASU team, my alma mater, go in there and just turn Texas upside. Like these Texans fans were just absolutely blown away in the fourth quarter. Just watching every camera shot, they were like this. They were just unbelievable. Texas was just, they were rattled. And the Sun Devils couldn't close it out, but you know who closed it out? And this is almost good in a way because from a fantasy perspective, if Skattebo could have played another game, the hype would have grown. And on this channel anyway, I'm not here to talk about ASU or, talk about how I wanted them to win. I'm here to talk about football in general, NFL football, fantasy football, NFL news. And the more opportunities people have a chance to see a player like Skattebo explode, the more the hype train is going to grow. Had Skattebo not had today's game, people wouldn't even really be, they'd like him. There'd be a lot of people in his fan club, but now everybody's going to be told about it. They're going to be forced to look at it. They're going to now start ranking him higher. This is a guy we talked about a few weeks ago, is just wait and see. When you see my rankings, you're going to be blown away. I wish I would have come out with the ranking show before today's game, because then it would have really meant something to see him do what he did today. But this kid is an absolute monster, maybe a Christian McCaffrey 2.0. He's a phenomenal player. Just going over Skattebo's stats today before we get into the rankings part of this show. Skattebo had 42 yards passing. This is a running back, by the way. 1 touchdown. He had a 42-yard touchdown streak. In this one, he had 141 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 29 carries, 4.9 a pop. Receiving the ball, 7 for 86. He was an absolute monster, just putting the ASU team on his back. The Devils were just riding this guy the entire way in this game. Such a sad unraveling, a sad unraveling of what could have been an amazing ASU upset. There were 2 touchdown dogs in this game. And Skattebo tried his best to put this team on his back. But what an unbelievable season for the Arizona Sun Devils, and so excited for this rookie class. Let's break it down real quickly. There's not much to say about Jeanty being 1. There's no moving him above anybody. There's no talking about, hey, maybe you move Skattebo above. No, don't get overhyped on this. We're going to hype this kid up for sure. Skattebo is going to have a video. We're gonna absolutely have a day. Have a field day with this situation. But Jeanty is potentially the next Adrian Peterson coming out of college. This is the next guy that, he was chasing Barry Sanders' record all year long. No one's done what this kid's done except for Barry. Every single eyeball, people watching this college football season know that he's the real deal. He breaks every tackle. You can't take him down with even two guys. This guy keeps his legs moving, can catch the ball. He had some uncharacteristic fumbles in this last game, but he's been kind of banged up, because he's been taking on work that no other running back has ever even sniffed. This kid it was on Barry Sanders' pace. Let me see if I can find his game log. I think I have his game log right here. You can just see for yourself the 29 rushing touchdowns, the 1 receiving touchdown, let's start from the bottom on August 31st, 267 and 6 touchdowns to kick off the season. Yeah, that's right. 192 and 3, 127 on 11 carries in that 9-21 game. 56-14 win that they didn't even need him, so he only got 11 totes, but still had 127. 259 and 4 TDs, 186 and 3, 217 and 1, 128 and 1. You can see why he was racing against Barry Sanders' mother freaking records. He's unbelievable, and there's a really good chance that Ashton Jeanty is a top 5 to 10 running back as a rookie, not just a top 10. And if you're a scared Scotty or a petrified Peter or a nervous Nelly, and you don't like to do he hasn't even taken a snap yet, and you're going to rank him there, Smitty, if that's your style, that's fine. That's fine if you're a scared little Scotty, little scaredy poo. You can't handle the heat. You're mad or scared or petrified about Marvin Harrison Jr. not delivering like we wanted to, and you're going to let 1 year that has completely nothing to do with the next year affect where you rank a guy like Ashton Jeanty. You go ahead and do that. But this kid could be a top 5 to 10. Let's give him a big range because of the potential landing spots. Smitty, how can you say that before he has a landing spot? Because I can. Hey, Smitty, how can you call him a top 5 to 10 running back when he's never taken a snap in the NFL? Because I can. Because I can, I will, and I did. And Ashton Jeanty is more than just some, hyped up player. He's the
Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Him and Bucky Irving are the first 2 Saturn men walking into 2025. That's right, we have 2 Saturn men and 2 Jupiter men. Jupiter men are the biggest men. They're the bullies of the solar system. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. It bullies around. Jupiter is said to potentially have been the reason the dinosaurs are extinct. Jupiter slingshotted a comet toward the Earth that wiped out the dinosaurs in civilization. Potentially, there's a lot of people that think there was a civilization before our civilization. There's a lot of debates on this stuff, and Jupiter's responsible for a lot of the havoc in the universe, and it actually traveled around the universe before it settled into its current orbit around the sun. It moved all over the place. This thing was a roving planet at one time. It's a bully. Saturn's amazing. These guys are absolutely gems. Jeanty's a Saturn man. Bucky Irving is a Saturn man.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
Get buckied. Bucky's a Saturn man.
The Saturn men.
One small
Jeanty's
step
a
for
Saturn man.
One giant
The
leap
Jupiter men.
forward.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars men.
Welcome to the Mars Club, Skattebo.
Loads dropping
Scatta.
and spinning
Woo!
endlessly in space.
Scatta.
To Mars.
Congratulations, Skattebo. You are a Mars man extraordinaire, young man.
Let him cook.
Scatta. Woo-hoo. Skattebo. I can't wait to make the Skattebo video. I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. But you know it's going to have something to do with Skattebo. Skattebo. I don't know what we're going to do. But Skattebo, welcome to the Mars men, my man. And look, the bottom line is this. You can't argue this. You can't. I mean, you can, but I'm not gonna allow it on this channel today. This is the Skattebo show, and I think there are some talented running backs in this draft class. The guy I have next is gonna shock everyone and absolutely make you probably pissing your pants. You might need to change your drawers. I hope you start bringing an extra pair of boxers, boxer briefs, whatever you wear, to the shows going forward, because as we start rocking it out here, moving forward here on the Fantasy Football Show, we're going to start dropping the bold predictions, and people usually get their panties in a bunch and get all upset and say things like, you guys haven't even taken a snap yet, Smitty. How can you do this? How can you do this? Smitty, how can you do this? What about Judkins? What about Johnson? What about Hampton, Smitty? How can you have Skattebo above these guys when he just isn't? He's not built for the NFL, Smitty. This guy is a tackle-breaking monster. Let me paint a picture. Christian McCaffrey, 1,500 yards rushing, 500 receiving. Haven't seen that since, have we? How about this man? 1,500 yards rushing, 500 plus receiving. Skattebo did a thing. Skattebo did a thing. Wait, where's my? That's Jeanty. Where's my? There it is. It's over here. Skattebo did a thing today. he had a 3 TD game, 1 passing, 2 rushing, 7 for 86 through the air, showing his versatility. And this is the best defense he's ever faced. And he talked mad shiat walking into the game. He said he's the best running back in the country. Arrogant little guy. This guy does worry me on a little bit of the emotional level, if you will. Like, there's a little bit of, like, this guy thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. And he might be. And that's why we've absolutely,
Let him cook.
Get lammed.
we don't even know what his potential is. But he's a little bit of a hothead. And he went out and said he's the best running back in the country. Texas, do your worst. Try and shut me down. I'm going to run all over you. Texas shut him down for about a quarter. A little over a quarter. Then Skattebo said, boo! He said, boo! 2 TDs, 141, 4.9 a pop, 29 totes against the Texas defense. One of the best defenses in the country. And this guy delivered. So don't give me any of that crap about who he played. Oh, Skattebo didn't play great teams. This monster, yeah, Clint, he's a diva for sure. This diva running back he delivered. He answered the call. He set himself up for a defensive targeting. These guys were targeting this man all over the field, and he delivered. And that's why, in my opinion, there's no question here. I did before the game have him bouncing between 2 and 3, but he just proved himself, and that's why he's a Mars man extraordinaire.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Skattebo.
Mars man.
And I truly believe that if the right team drafts him, now understand, before you get your panties in a mother freaking bunch right now and talk about how you can have these guys in your top 5 to 10, Smitty. First of all, I can because I did and I will and I'll continue to. Okay, that's my show. If I want Skattebo number 1 overall out of all running backs in 2025, I can do it if I want. You can't stop me. This guy is my number 2 rookie running back. I'm deathly afraid that the San Francisco 49ers are going to take this man and bury him on the Niner depth chart, because he's not going to take McCaffrey's spot, but do they want him for later? I hope to God they don't draft him to a horrible spot, into that horrible spot. Mason, they're going to try and retain Mason. Guarendo's already proven there. This guy's going to a handful of potential landing spots. Like Cleveland would be amazing. Minnesota's losing Aaron Jones to free agency. That would be an amazing situation if this Aaron Jones running back spot in this Minnesota Vikings potent arsenal that can throw the ball to the running back. Skattebo can catch the ball like no other. You just saw him. You just saw him pull in 7 for 86. This kid would be remarkable in Minnesota. Skattebo to Cleveland. Skattebo to Dallas. Skattebo to the Chargers, potentially. There's a lot of different places that he could go. A lot of different places that he could go. A ton. Back to the rankings real quickly. My surprise isn't coming up yet. My surprise, I'm going to safely rank 4. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to make sure we're let's put Hampton here. Hampton's the 3rd. A lot of you guys have Hampton 1 and 2, and there's nothing wrong with Hampton at 2 or 3. Jeanty's 1. I don't care. Like, you might have Hampton at 1. I can't. There's no way. There's no way. I like Hampton a lot. Landing spot's going to determine a lot for him. I do think he's a solid player, very solid. Do I think he could be a top 5 running back in the National Football League? No. My number 4 could, if he was used right. My number 4 reminds me a lot of Alvin Kamara. My number 4 reminds me, he's one of the smoothest running backs I've really ever scouted in the last, 20 years. And I've been scouting I did on CBS and NBC Sports Radio for 19 straight years. And our radio show ran for 23 straight years. So for over 20 years, I haven't seen a running back that feels as smooth as this next kid that I'm going to mention. But first, I want to say that Hampton deserves a look at 2. There's no doubt about it. If Skattebo lands in a horrible spot, then we gotta reevaluate. That's the whole point and the risk of ranking these guys before we have any landing spots. We're basing this off of talent, and we're projecting that teams are going to invest. Hampton's the default, okay? And some of you have Hampton as 2 at default. He's the default until he gets dethroned. This guy right here, mark my words. I can't promise you that a team's going to draft him as a starter. I can't promise you he'll go in the right round or territory that gets him into a non-cloudy spot, but I promise you this. If this next guy goes into an amazing landing spot, this guy could be a top 5 running back in the National Football League. I said that about Alvin Kamara. Everybody called me crazy when I was scouting Alvin Kamara, and I said that this kid's going to be a top 5 running back. I went on NBC Sports Radio and said Alvin Kamara will be a top 5 running back. And people said he can't. He's drafted into a cloudy situation. He's drafted into a cloudy situation, bro. How is he going to do that in New Orleans? He's a part-time back. He's too small. He'll never last. Alvin Kamara became a top 5 running back. This guy could be a top mother freaking 5 running back. And I'm putting him on the Moon Man list today. This ends now. The craziness, the doubt, not on this channel. Dylan Sampson, if in the right spot, which I cannot guarantee, is a top 5 to 10 running back in the National Football League. Listen to me now. This is a smooth operator. Pull this guy's film up. And before you say, how can you have him? This is off talent. I can't guarantee you that he gets a starting job or a not so cloudy situation. This ranking could fall or it could rise based on the NFL draft. This is a talent evaluation process. This has nothing to do with landing spots. We don't know. We know where Jeanty's going in the top 10. We have no clue where Skattebo's going to go. We have no clue where Hampton's going to go. We got no clue where Samson's going to go. These guys go too late, second round plus, to where any team could take you. No one's going to take Jeanty in the top 10 that doesn't need a running back. So he's the safest landing spot out of all of them. This is how it used to be. This is how it used to be in the NFL. Multiple first-round running backs. Nobody invests draft capital in RBs that high inside round 1 that doesn't need them. Now, you don't know. Shanahan could take any one of these guys in round 2 if they fell and not need them. Took Ricky Pearsall in round 2 last year. Or round 1. Round 1. At the end of round 1. He took Ricky Pearsall. Shanahan, what a joke. He took Ricky Pearsall, who we like. We like him. In round 1, and he didn't need him. So you don't know what these coaches can do with running backs in round 2 and 3. Mark my words. Yes, Clint, we will be having a Samsonite Unite video. They're absolutely, because Samsonite was perfect with that. Samsonites Unite. Samsonites Unite. Masonites Unite. The suitcases. The suitcase club. Samson's going to the mother freaking moon, and I'm putting him there right now.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Samson, welcome to the moon. We're going to run out of Moon Men, Mars Men, and Saturn Men, and Jupiter Men spots before January 31st, most likely on this channel, which is just crazy. We're all over the place already, aren't we? That's okay. That's how we roll. It's how Dad did it. It's how America does it, and it's worked out pretty good so far. Let me tell you a few little things about Mr. Samsonite. Samsonite, absolute marvel, is... If I had to comp him, I'd say Kyron Williams meets Devon Achane, meets Alvin Kamara. And I give you 3 of them because he's a unique player. He does these jump cuts like no other. He's smooth. The best way to describe this man is when he has the ball. It's like Walker. Remember when we created the Moon Men, Mars Men, Saturn Men list in the beginning? It was because Alvin Kamara would be running about 90% speed and stop on the foot he's still running 80% on. He's going 80% and he stops on that. I can't even do it slow motion. He stops on that foot and then goes the other way. And then there's the jump cuts. It's going left and right. It's unbelievable watching Samson navigate space. The way if you watch the video footage and you pull it up on YouTube later, and you're going to come back and say, Smitty, you're 100 mother freaking % right about Dylan Sampson. How did I not know Dylan Sampson was this good? How in the hell did I not watch this kid play? This 5 foot, he's right around 6 foot. He's about 5'11" to 6 foot. He's about 200 to 205 pounds. His jump cut ability, his ability to elude tackles, to stop, get grabbed, his spin move, his elusive spin move, signature spin move to get out of a tackle is unbelievable. I've never seen a more slippery guy when somebody's got a very, very good grip on their arm or on their jersey. The man just slips out of everything. This guy's an absolute mother freaking marvel. I would say, and he's the speedster of the class. He runs a 4.35 40. His quickness is unmatched in the class. He has great hands. He has amazing vision. He's the best runner in the class, navigating space and finding rushing lanes. He's absolutely unbelievable finding a rushing lane. This guy's unbelievable. The best way to describe his style of play would be Kenneth Walker meets... Jahmyr Gibbs, I guess, if you're trying to describe just the style alone. But his speed's Devon Achane. He has a little Bucky Irving. That's probably a great comp. Bucky Irving meets Achan meets Kyron, meets Kamara. He's comped to all those guys. He has certain skill sets. This Dylan Samson monster, similar skill sets to all those guys. He could get drafted into a murky situation, like I said, and needs to climb into a solo gig. But, Sean Payton back in the day understood what Alvin Kamara could bring to the table. We have to hope that the team that lands him understands that he too can be Alvin Kamara-like. He ran for 22 touchdowns in 2024 at Tennessee. He racked up over 1,600 total yards. His top 10 running back ability is present in every single carry that he makes. Speed kills. This is the speedster of the draft class. And that's another thing too. Like when we say, okay, maybe coaches won't like him. When you're the fastest running back in the class, it gives you an advantage on Combine Day. It gives you an advantage, and he will be probably most likely of the big name players, the quickest clocked 40 time out of the group. Dylan Samson is going to shine and stand out in that respect. But I do urge you to go take a look at his footage. You will not be disappointed. 1485 and 22 touchdowns on the ground, 19 receptions for 151 through the air. 3 years played, but only really the one breakout season. And so the mileage is low. Love Dylan Samson. Again, mark my words, this Moon Man extraordinaire could be a top 5 to 10 running back if in the right spot.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Moving on to the next guy, it gets really difficult here. Johnson's hard to not rank here. Trevion Henderson, what he's doing right now in the game currently is pretty outstanding. I'll put up his game log. He's got 2 touchdowns right now. It's always kind of a bummer when a player shares the backfield. Judkins, Quinshon Judkins and Trevion Henderson, both running backs you see on screen right here from Ohio State. They're both sharing carries right now. They're both playing right now in the Ohio State Oregon Ducks football game. Let me put the box score up so we can box score Bobby the hell out of this game so far. 154 left in the game, so this game is coming down to a close. Let me put the stats on screen so you guys can take a look at what the two are doing right now in this game. Trevion Henderson, 6 carries for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. Way more efficient than Judkins in this game, but Judkins got to 17 carries for 85 yards. I think what happens in Trevion Henderson, 3 for 20 through the air. I think what happens is when we see a player share the backfield, we have a tendency as a football community, as a scout, as a regular just connoisseur of college football preparation for fantasy football in the NFL. We have a tendency to be like, okay, if they're sharing carries, maybe they're not as good as I thought. Because it makes you think, okay, if he was that good, this coach would say, screw it, I'm not going to take him off the field. So it's a little bit of like a downgrade in our minds psychologically. But it doesn't always mean, look at Jacobs. Jacobs shared carries in college. It doesn't always mean that Henderson's going to fail or Judkins is going to fail. But it makes it harder to trust the player for whatever reason from a psychological perspective. My number 5 right now would probably be Johnson. I think Henderson would come in as the next up on my board. I think Judkins would come in next up on my board after that. I think they're both phenomenal players, but this is the guy I think is a little more special than this guy. This feels a little bit like, and I don't mean this in a negative way because your boy was all over James Cook for the majority of the midseason on in terms of trading for him. Put him in your lineup. James Cook is a great player, but he reminds me of James Cook. I don't know that he'll ever be elite or like electric to the point where you're calling him a top 5 to 7 running back. Cook is not a top 10 running back. He's a top 10 or top 11 to 20 running back that can play at top 5 to 10 levels, top 4 to 10 levels on occasion in a system that rotates the who's going to get the ball, who's going to play well in Buffalo. So he's never even had a chance to fully develop James Cook in Buffalo. But he reminds me of James Cook in that I don't know that, and I'm not necessarily comparing the style of play, so calm down. I'm saying he reminds me of James Cook because I don't think that he's ever going to be fully utilized like a top 5 to 10 running back would. I'm not saying Henderson would, but I think he's more likely to become something like Bucky Irving became, where everybody questioned Bucky's size. Was he elite on any level? The truth is, the scouting reports, even when we watched the scouting situation, go down, even when we watched the film on this kid, the workouts, he didn't quite stand out like he does now. And that's because players mature and grow at the NFL level. They're not always who they're supposed to be right yet till they get NFL coaching, NFL training, and sometimes they're still growing. They're young kids. Some of them are 19, 20 years old. They come into the NFL and they just take off. They're still growing. They're still maturing. They're still learning the game. And so Bucky was not somebody that you missed. It's like Bucky wasn't quite where Bucky was gonna be when he was coming out of college. He was a nice prospect. He was a very good prospect. But this guy reminds me of Bucky in that there's potential, but the landing spot's got to be ideal, and he's got to grow a lot when he gets to the next level. Not physically, but mature. He's got to mature a lot. He's got to enhance his game. He's got to pull a Bucky Irving, and he certainly could. I just want to make that abundantly clear. I don't feel like Johnson's ever going to be a top 5 to 10 running back, really. Maybe 8 to 14 or 8 to 15. He's got the potential for it. And the right landing spot, too, could change everything. If he goes to start for Cleveland, then he's 6 to 12. Like, situation can dictate that. But if, let's say, Johnson went to a pretty good spot, but it wasn't the best spot, I do think his talent alone, without the ideal situation, will never have him in the top 5. Whereas this guy, he's got that Bucky Irving potential to be something greater than he is right now. These two guys feel very limited. They feel capped. They've got good value, not amazing, elite, through the roof value. He's got hidden value that's untapped that may never get pulled out of him. Samson's ready. Samson's the guy. Samson's the guy I believe could be number 2 on my list. Samson's a guy that if Jeanty landed in a cloudy situation and Samson went to Cleveland to start, could be my number 1 running back. That's how much I love Dylan Sampson, Tennessee running back, fastest running back on this board right here, 4.35 40, absolute The Fantasy Football Show approved. This guy's going freaking places. I'm telling you right now, get ready, get excited.
You've just been Smitty approved.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Moon Man Extraordinaire.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Mars Man Extraordinaire.
Mars Man.
The Saturn Men.
Saturn Man. We got a rookie running back
One giant leap for Saturn.
on the Saturn board. We got a rookie running back
On a shuttle to Mars.
on the Mars board.
The Moon Man.
Rookie running back
dropping loads
on the
in
Moon Man
outer
board.
space.
That's my rookie running back ranking as of this moment. Can't wait to bring you the wide receivers. It is what it is. I want everybody to go watch Samson highlights tonight. I want everybody to understand that this is the Kyron Williams. This is the Bucky Irving. This is the potential monster of this draft class that is hidden, and the other fantasy football communities know nothing about it. There's probably not another community bold enough to rank this guy anywhere near this 3 territory. And I'm very tempted to do this. The only reason I'm not doing it yet is because I want to make sure we're drafting him in the right places. I want to make sure we're not overdoing it. We're not getting too cute too early. But this is very much how I believe it could be. This is where my heart wants to rank this. I'm only trying to pump the brakes a little bit as we walk into the scouting, territory of the offseason, and we start saying, this is where he's climbing to. Your boy is trying to tell you and scream from the rooftops that if this man lands in the right spot, this is our guy. This is the guy we're smashing a button for. We're doing the get buckied video clip style celebratory unveiling every time he touches the football or has it. This is the Alvin Kamara of this class, the hidden monster. He just needs to be found. He just needs to be trusted. He just needs to be given the opportunity. This kid I like a lot. but Samson is in my opinion on a whole nother level than Hampton. Hampton just might get the better landing spot. It's really tough to say. This is not an easy call by any means to start trying to predict, okay, where's this guy going to go? You know, is a team going to believe in him enough? We don't know. Same thing with Henderson. Henderson and Samson are my two gems of this class. I love both of them, but they're not guaranteed anything. Hampton's probably going to be guaranteed more, probably gets a better spot. Skattebo just vaulted into pretty much everyone's spotlight and on everyone's radar. It kind of sucks in a way because he was a gem for us, and now I think he still will be. Not everybody watches college football. You know, not everybody watched that Arizona State game, and so there's a chance that the average person still has no idea what he did today. You know, there are a lot of people that don't watch college football. A lot of people that just go, okay, let me pull up, who are the rookies? And they don't know. So those are the people, the grandma leagues, the work leagues, where they have no idea. They won't know unless they're in Arizona, unless they're you know in Texas and they watch the game and they're football fans. So, and you know what I'm probably gonna do? We'll leave it for now. This guy. This is enough of an acknowledgement.
The Moon Men dropping.
That for right now, I'm going to leave this here. I really want to move him here really badly. I'm itching to do it. I'm just itching to do it. No one's going to be higher on Samson than this channel. Period. There's most people don't even have him in their top 10. Most people they barely mention Samson. Like after all of these guys on the board, you'll hear somebody go, "I kind of like. He's okay. He's a pretty good player. He's a 4.35 runner." He's a 4.35 runner. For those that don't have, for those of you playing week 18, I don't know what in the hell you're doing. We have a little bit of news. I'll get this news up on my screen real quick. You definitely need to have this information if you're playing week 18. I'm sure you already know, but hopefully this helps some of you that are you know scouring right now for the information. But a lot of players are sitting. This is not the week to be playing fantasy football championship. Here's Barkley is not going to play. The Eagles are sitting a bunch of their starters. Jalen Hurts is still in the concussion protocol. Kyren Williams about to get paid. This is going to be a fun topic in the offseason because if this man gets paid in a new contract, if he gets paid elite money by McVay, top 5-6 running back money, there go all the Corum believers. There's so many people that still say Corum. Like I saw in the comments of this post right here, I was looking for it. There's about 3 or 4 people that go, Corum's, you know, taking more and more work. He's about ready to take over. Corum's on his tail. It's like people are just so wild. They don't understand that this is McVay's son practically. As soon as he gets money, it's going to put it in a whole different perspective. Then again, you know, I don't know if people will adjust and adapt. I think people are just hell-bent against this kid. Everyone wants to root against him for whatever reason. But Kyren, if he gets paid, and we'll have more on this potential contract he might get this offseason.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Now, Kyren's not a unrestricted free agent or a restricted free agent, but this tends to happen. McVay could definitely scratch his back here and give him his contract. Here's his deal. He's definitely earned it. It sucks for rookie running backs because after this 2026 season is when he could have some sort of potential, like 1 or 2 years left, and so it becomes tough for teams to pay running backs. And I sure hope he gets paid early. He'll be making a base salary of $1.1 million this year. Signing bonus is $77K, and he's an unrestricted free agent in 2026. So I hope they do the right thing and they give this kid an extension. If they do, then I believe the fantasy landscape and opinion on Kyren will change a little bit, but there'll still be a ton of doubters out there, people that don't know football at all. You know, the whole quorum's going to take his job. Those guys don't know football, and that's fine. We're here to teach them, but it's wild to me. So that's all the news right now. This piece right here. This is the third. I might have one more. Yeah, I'm sorry. So here are the other pieces of news that you need to know about. Carson Wentz is going to start. KC will rest some of their starters. Don't expect really anything out of the KC guys. Wentz will start week number 18. This is your own fault if you play in a week 18 league. I don't care if your commissioner decides it. Why are you playing in the league? It's ridiculous. It's like throwing your money down the toilet. Anthony Richardson revealed that he was unable to walk and had to crawl around his house due to a lower back issue last week. An MRI later showed a disc problem that got triggered the wrong way. Richardson says he feels much better now. I'm standing up now. That's awful news for Richardson. But I do think he'll be the starter next year in Indianapolis. I don't think they're going to go in a different direction. If they did, I'd be glad. I'd be glad to trade Kyler Murray for Anthony Richardson in Arizona. Give me the chance that he's something, because I know Kyler's not. Kyler's a great athlete, a superb athlete, an amazing athlete. But it's one of those things where, you know, Kyler's just, he's not a winner. He doesn't throw Marvin Harrison Jr.'s way. I don't think he can read a defense. He certainly can't see over the offensive line. And when asked questions like, why don't you throw to Marvin Harrison Jr. more? This is a great game that you threw to him, whatever. He says things like, I throw to who my coaches tell me to throw to. That's not how the quarterback position works. Sure, you have some design plays. Debo Samuel, we're going to design a play for Debo. It's going to Debo. The snap's taken, and it goes to Debo. It's a designed like screen. Those things happen. That's okay. But Kyler Murray literally says that he throws to who his coaches tell him to, and sometimes that's Marvin Harrison Jr. Sometimes some games it's not. What do you mean? Like, it makes me think Kyler does not know football at all. This guy is only playing video games, and I just don't understand it. I would love for the Cardinals to trade for AR5, but I believe the Colts will continue on the path of giving AR5 a spot in that starting lineup. But if for any reason they change coaching staffs or something happens, maybe they move on. You never know. The offseason is crazy sometimes, but it will be wild. It will be wild. But get rid of Kyler in Arizona, please. Let's get a quarterback. Maybe Ewers would be a good quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Ewers is probably the third-ranked QB in college football outside of Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. Those are probably the consensus 1 and 2. And Ewers is probably the next up. I want Arch Manning. That's who I want Arizona Cardinals to get. Can we wait long enough? Can we hold off long enough and get Arch Manning? Have him thrown to MHJ? That would be amazing. Ewers would be better than Kyler Murray, I'll tell you that right now. And sometimes these quarterbacks need time to develop in the NFL too. Sometimes you see a little remnants of what they can become, and they've got some talent. Ewers has got talent. Is he something along the lines of a Bo Nix, where a lot of people doubted Bo Nix? We didn't. But a lot of people doubted Bo Nix, said Bo Nix wasn't going to be good at the NFL level. And now look at everybody. Bo Nix is amazing. He's absolutely fantastic. He's an absolute superstar in the making, potentially. Like, Ewers has a little bit of that. You just got to, the quarterbacks, as much as there is a rhyme and a reason to it, there's also a lot of luck and development that you're projecting the development to be there. And you can't always guarantee that the quarterback continues to develop at the same pace that you projected. Case in point would be T-Law. Trevor Lawrence was one of the most remarkable quarterback prospects we had seen in quite some time. And there was no way to really know that his progression, his development would get stunted. They had a horrible first year for Trevor Lawrence, all mapped out under a horrible coach in Urban Meyer. And when the experiment of Urban Meyer was terminated after one season, you had T-Law starting completely over from scratch. And that just set him back, and T-Law just hasn't developed, you know. So I think Ewers is somebody like, you know, some people are going to hate, some people are going to like, some people will love. And in the right spot, you give him MHJ. He could be an efficient quarterback. He could be somebody that could give you like 6 to 12 potential numbers from time to time. Maybe he ranks in around 8 to 14 on the average. I'm not saying he's a top 5 guy. I'm not saying he can't be better than I expect as well. I mean, he's a good quarterback prospect. All right, let me hit these super chats here that we got. Red, my man, he says, "Hey brother, are you doing lineup help for week 18?" I mean, I can try, Red, but it's ridiculous to play week 18. And you can say, yeah, I know. You don't know if you're doing it. Like, you got to leave that league or tell the commissioner. Like, it's nonsense, bro. I don't even know who to tell you to start, but we'll try. My feeling is Jeanty's overrated. Skattebo is a stud. I mean, anything can happen, my boy, but, I mean, Jeanty's absolute monster. Jeanty is not bad, but has played... he has played until PSU. Jeanty's a monster, bro. Smitty, you're the best. Thank you for the rookie running back, wide receivers. Let's go. TheFantasyFootballShow.com. Thank you, Terry, and congrats on winning the Marsman points race, my boy. Congrats on that. Terry Roberts to the mother freaking moon. Sean, appreciate you. Start Richardson, Penix, or May this week at QB. I would go Penix Jr. personally, but that, you know, that's not the easiest. Some of these situations are weird, bro. Can you pick someone who has week 18 championship, is not in the Patreon, and here now to give 1 month to the Patreon? I have the link and I sent it to Travis. It's hard to do it, Aaron, in the YouTube because there's no way to DM somebody. So I'll give it away in an IG post or something, Aaron. I appreciate that. That's awesome of you. I will give that away. Aaron wants to give away a free month on the Patreon to somebody, $10 a month to do the Patreon. And I'll do that. I just can't do it on YouTube because there's no way to send it directly to anybody. And I don't want to post it in the live chat and just have it go that way. So thank you very much for doing that. I'll remember to send that out. I apologize. I've been delayed on that. That's not on Travis. That's on me. Thank you for your, okay. Thank you, Terry Roberts. Terry Roberts to the mother freaking moon. Thank you, Terry. Phone lines are open. I don't know how long we'll be here tonight.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I don't know how long we'll be here tonight, but we'll try and handle some questions and help you guys out the best I can. I mean, week 18 is garbage. I'm not trying to detour you away from calling in or sending a super chat. I don't mean to be that way about it. Like, Smitty, just relax. I mean, it is what it is. But the reason I'm kind of hard on the topic is because I want you guys to change it. A lot of you come in year after year and you're like, I know, week 18, but I'm in it, and you gotta lobby for it to be changed. Your commissioner, like, what's your commissioner doing back there? All right, let's see here. Ben Johnson gonna have the pleasure to sit back and pick. Yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson. Is it going to be San Francisco? Is he going to go somewhere else? I mean, it's hard to know. Or not San Francisco, I'm sorry. Is it going to be... let's see, where would Ben Johnson go? I didn't mean to say San Francisco. Is it going to be the Jets? Is it going to be... I mean, where's Ben Johnson's best landing spot? The Jets... Wouldn't it be great to see Ben Johnson go to Miami? The Jaguars, the Raiders. Put him with Atlanta. Give him Atlanta. And the Saints, no thank you. Seattle. I think Grubb's getting another year. I don't think Grubb is. Niners should fire Shanahan. Yeah, the reason that even came to my mind when I said the Niners is because I'm always talking about it with Raj and the boys. Like Ben Johnson's a better option by far than Shanahan. So it was on my mind, but I don't think the Niners aren't going to get rid of Shanahan. Clint says I'm a running back whisperer. Thank you, pal. Chicago, definitely. That's probably the most, I don't know, maybe likely spot that people are going to project. Chicago, and New York, the New York Jets. Chicago and the Jets might be. Fire Raheem Morris. Yeah, maybe. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to, though. Ben Johnson would have been amazing with Atlanta, says Togo. Yeah, definitely. Still possible. I think Raheem Morris, we got to give him some credit for putting together this situation. Getting Penix Jr., going against the grain there. I think signing Cousins was a mistake. But at the same time, what if Penix needed this exact moment? You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, here in New York, talks about Rex Ryan and Riverboat Ron for head coach. Yeah, definitely hearing rumors like that as well. It'll be a very, very interesting offseason for all involved. Rex would be good. John Gruden. Yeah, John Gruden will probably coach in the NFL this year, I think. All right, I must have the phone lines down. I'm sorry. Let me reset them. Call in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan. Man, that ASU game was crazy. I was putting a lot of it on my stories. You can see my reaction to all the big plays going into overtime. It was wild. It was such a wild game. Proud of ASU though. Proud of Skattebo. Proud of all the boys. They did a good job. Good coaching, really. Our coach is kind of nuts. He's wild. What do you guys think of the Arizona State coach? He's 34 years old. Not even old enough to be president of the United States. He's a wild guy. Skattebo is a diva for sure. An absolute diva. Absolute potential, He's either going to be just like a hothead, like Jamar Chase is a hothead kind of guy, Like he very much has that diva mentality, but he still carries himself very well. I'm hoping that's how Skattebo is when he gets to the big leagues. I hope he doesn't turn into a Johnny Manziel or act like Caleb does. I know people think Caleb carries himself well that are Caleb fans or Chicago fans, but Caleb the entire offseason carried himself like a weirdo. What is up, my boy? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show 843. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Fantastic. It's Bender. I'm calling from South Carolina.
Bender. What's up, Bender? South Carolina, Bender. What can I do for you?
Yeah, just wanted to talk. Love the show. First time caller, first time I've gotten in. Invaluable
Thank you.
information. So I do think that I'm a Lions fan. I do think that our OC is going to Jacksonville.
Yeah. What makes you think Jacksonville? He's definitely on the move.
I've heard the rumors. I mean, I didn't think we were going to keep him this year, to be honest with you. He's so sought after. He's going to go to a place where he can use his tools as an OC. And obviously with Trevor Lawrence, some of the weapons they have there.
What makes you think Jacksonville over, let's say, the New York Jets? Or, I mean, they got Trevor Lawrence, that's good, but they could always, they could get aggressive and he could find his own quarterback that he wants. But and Trevor's kind of broken a little bit. What makes you think he doesn't feel like so many others that Caleb is this, potential diamond, in the rough that needs to be just coached properly? Like, I'm just curious. What makes you think these other situations aren't a tad better?
Let's be absolutely. Let's be perfectly clear. As a Lions fan, Ben Johnson going to the Bears is an absolute nightmare.
Well, yeah.
For our fan base. I think.
I don't mean it. I don't think that way. I think that that's where he's going to go to fail. Like the Bears they're the worst organization. They
are. I agree with that 100%.
Okay,
he's going to have some freedom in Jacksonville.
Okay.
The expectations are lower. He instantly turns that franchise kind of around as it's an open division as far as like for the taking.
I mean, it's an interesting take, and I'm not saying you're wrong. Jacksonville's definitely in the mix. Like we've talked about that. It's definitely one of the teams. But
I hear rumors.
Let me just tell you this though: the rumors are not true, because not saying that he can't land there, but Ben Johnson's not revealed where he's going. Ben, you know what I mean? Like when people say, I'm hearing things that Ben Johnson hasn't told a soul that he wants to go here, there. He's going to keep his options open. He's going to focus on this year. There's no way Ben Johnson.
This Sunday night is the biggest game of his career.
I know, but I'm just saying when people say there's rumors, it's all speculation. There's nothing that indicates Ben Johnson's going to Jacksonville. There's nothing that indicates he's going anywhere. There's nothing that indicates he's leaving, but probably will leave. 100% probably will leave. But, I think these rumors are hilarious. Like, especially when he's in the middle of trying to, win a Super Bowl right now. So there's no way he's talking about this. There's no way. Like, if I was Ben Johnson and I'm asked a question anywhere, bro, at a Christmas party with people I pretty much trust that they won't tell anybody, record me, somebody said, hey, where you want to go? He's going to say, I'm not worried about that right now. I want to win games. I'm here in Detroit. Can't think about that yet. Like, there's no way he's breathing a single bit of where he's going to anybody. So that's what I'm saying. The rumors are hilarious. Like, he's going here. He's not yet. We don't know where the hell he's going. But it's a good guess. It's definitely in the handful of teams that are likely candidates. But I don't know if it feels like, I guess I would say this: if I'm Ben Johnson, I don't necessarily disagree with you. First of all, I'm just saying that it's not out there yet. It's not. But Jacksonville, if I was Ben Johnson, Jacksonville would be in my top 3 choices, no doubt about it. Why? I do believe in Trevor Lawrence. BT, Brian Thomas Jr., top 5 to 10 wide receiver in the National Football League. Early draft pick, give me Ashton Jeanty. Give me my Jahmyr Gibbs. Ashton Jeanty, BTJ, Trevor Lawrence. BTJ, Jeanty. Well, if you don't get Jeanty in round 1, then you can get Skattebo later. But give me Jeanty, give me BTJ, give me Trevor Lawrence with Ben Johnson. That's a franchise right there. That's going to be amazing. That's going to be an unbelievable situation. I do also.
The division is right for the taking.
I do also think that if you hand me Cleveland, Ben Johnson, and Fields, or it doesn't. I wish they could trade up to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, Ward or Sanders. I don't think the Browns, would or could do that, but I think Cleveland. The reason Cleveland would be good for me is because I would get absolutely crazy aggressive and either have Field. I wouldn't worry about the Watson contract. It is what it is. If you got to pay it, you got to pay it, but it doesn't mean he's a starter. The Cleveland mistake is continuing to throw him out there as a starter because the contract is so expensive. I would get Fields. I would trade up for one of the rookie quarterbacks. It is what it is. You'd have one of the most expensive but solid backups. I'm not saying he's a solid starter, but he'd be a solid backup. And that I could get behind, doing something like that. But I think because most coaches and GMs and the team alone, the team probably wouldn't let Ben Johnson do anything crazy. He's not going to go there probably because he wants freedom. He wants a quarterback. You're either going to have a
Go ahead.
You're either going to have a quarterback already in place like T-Law that you do believe in, or you're going to be in a position to get a high draft. You know, you're going to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, or you think you're going to be able to maybe potentially sign Fields, and that's the situation you want. I think Fields is a solution for so many teams. The Cardinals, if I was the Arizona Cardinals, I would trade Kyler Murray away as quick as I could. I'd free up that money. I'd almost give him away just to get the money free. That's what my buddy and I were talking about the other day. And but you could get something for him as well. And then you bring in Fields. You bring in Justin Fields. Justin Fields turns MHJ into a monster. For those that think that Pickens and Fields is a reason to be worried about whether MHJ would be fed, just take a little gander at what Fields did to DJ Moore. He turned him into a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. So I do hope Fields is considered by Arizona. Arizona is not going to have a lot of options. It's not like Arizona can go get a top 5 quarterback. So anybody that says, Smitty, why are you so into the Fields situation? Because it's the best thing the Cardinals can try. And I do like Fields. Like, he's not a lock. He's still got to be fixed. He's very broken. But the Arizona Cardinals can't just go out and get an elite top 5 quarterback that's established. It's not the way it works. It's either Fields, they trust Kyler again for another year, or they somehow get so aggressive they could go get Cam or Shador, maybe trust in Ewers a little bit, something like that. The Cardinals don't have a lot of options. I think Fields is a really decent one to take a stab at. But anyway.
I agree, as a backup, yes. Or
not
as a backup quarterback now, I think Fields does have potential starting. I mean, obviously he's a top 5 pick.
Not now. I do it as a starter, and I trade Kyler away. Kyler's not winning nothing, bro. Kyler's trash. Kyler's an amazing athlete that can't play football. That's plain and simple. Not a backup. I want Fields as a starter from day one. Trade Kyler away. That's what I want as an Arizona Cardinal fan. I want nothing to do with Kyler Murray. He's trash.
All right, I hear you.
He's trash.
But
all
as far
right.
as Ben Johnson, just going back
Real quickly, last thing.
Those jobs at the Jets and the Browns, they're always going to be there. He's not going to jump and make the head coaching transition with one of those franchises, in my opinion. I think Jacksonville makes the most sense. Obviously it'll shake out, we'll see. But
it's certainly, when you get handed Trevor Lawrence, who I still think is a good quarterback, you get handed BTJ, it's a pretty nice situation for a guy like Ben. So we'll see. Jeanty would be
quietly a top 5 fantasy receiver.
Yeah, BTJ is amazing. Jeanty would be the pick for Jacksonville, and it would be a great spot. It'd be a great spot for Jeanty. That would be it would be, in retrospect, the best spot. Like, if Ben Johnson landed there and we'd be like, oh God, looking back on it, I wouldn't want him in Dallas over Jacksonville. So I do hope Jeanty goes to the Jaguars. It would be an unbelievable place for him. All right, later, bro.
I think Ben Johnson uses them as a multi-weapon, like a Taysom Hill type
for sure.
Very well.
For sure, especially if they do end up drafting a different position in round 1, come back with Scat in round 2 or 3. Probably 2. I imagine he'll go in 2. The hype's going to be real after this game. I think before this game he might have slipped a little more, but now people are just going to be all over this. From a scouting perspective, but yeah, he's phenomenal. Scat, I mean, there's a reason he's number 2 on the rookie rankings, and he'd be good in Dallas. He'd be good in Cleveland. He'd be great in Cleveland. Cleveland would be
all those games.
Cleveland would be amazing for Scat. All right, later, bro. All right, rock out. You're live. Yep. Rock out. Rock out.
Yeah, there's one team in particular I wouldn't want any running back to go to. Which team you think that is?
Chicago or San Francisco is the most, because you'd be buried if they drafted Scat, which Shanahan is very, very much the kind of coach that would draft Skattebo, 100%. Like, I just talk with Raj and those guys, I'm like, do not draft Skattebo, do not draft Jeanty. You guys are going to screw it up, because it's not that they aren't. Jeanty's better than McCaffrey is right now. McCaffrey's fallen off. He's done. But he's not going anywhere. So he's going to try and play. He's going to be in the way. So Jeanty can't rise up and grab all the work this year. It's not going to happen. Scat going to San Francisco, they're just going to put him on the bench. Just like I said at the top of the show, look what Shanahan did with freaking Pearsall. Take a first-round wide receiver, and you don't even need him? Like, what a waste. I mean, he did good in Week 17. We always liked him, but this is Shanahan doing Shanahan things. So I would say, I don't know if you acknowledge it yet, but either San Francisco or Chicago.
No, the team I wouldn't want any running backs to go to is Denver.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I agree with that.
Like, no.
Although if let's say Skattebo did go to Denver, I think he would go there to be used. So
he might trump their usual thing.
yeah, I think when you've got a player like that, you'll figure out a way to. I don't think that they would get crazy and draft him and not play him. But yeah, I definitely would rather have him go to like 7 other, 8 other, 10 other spots than Denver for sure. I agree with you. But I think San Francisco's the worst spot because they'll bury you. You'll be on the bench, you know. But that's the kind of player Shanahan loves. So if Scat falls into round 2, we're in danger of Shanahan, you know, saying, "Hey, I'll use a second rounder." You know. Skattebo is similar to Estime. No, he's not, Brandon. He's not even close. What are you talking about? What kind of evaluation is that? Skattebo is similar to Estime. According to my estimations, Estime is a very average, bland, just kind of floats around the field, barely. No, bro. Skattebo is like Mike Allstott meets. There's not even a way to describe him. Christian McCaffrey in Mike Allstott's body. That's what Skattebo is. Estime's a trash back, bro. Brandon.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Where's my take? I moved my take a lap button. Now I can't even find it.
Take a big lap.
Estimate. My boy. That's right, bro. Brandon, you know I love you, pal, but that was wild.
That's right.
Estimate.
Estimate. Bad estimation.
Let me show you what I think of that.
The Moon Man He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
I'm already forgetting what list he's on. Mars Man. Scatta what? Skattebo.
Mars.
Scatta what?
Oh, you know where Estime's at.
Scatta what?
Scatta what?
All right. Anything else, Rock Out?
And as far as the Browns, do you actually think they're gonna get another quarterback or draft a quarterback early?
They say that Watson's their guy still. We'll see, bro.
Yeah, man, I would try to beat the bull or whatever. But, yeah.
I mean, bro, his contract is insane. They reworked it a little bit to make it more affordable this year, but he still has the worst contract in the NFL, and you can't get out of it. You know, it's.
What's the dead cap this year?
Well, it's fully guaranteed.
Right.
The whole contract is fully guaranteed. Every single dollar. There's no debt. It's not even the dead cap is, as of right now, it's $172 million. You know, then it's $99 million. You know, then he's an unrestricted free agent after 2027. The year out is the voidable year is 2027. So as of right now, I don't know if this is the reworked version of the contract, but Deshaun Watson's contract, and the Browns Browns fans, don't get mad at me. I think you probably would agree with me. I love my Browns fans, but the Browns they don't know what they're doing with quarterbacks. They have no clue what they're doing, and they're just pot committed to this situation. No matter what they're oblivious to it. So walking into 2025, dead cap of $172 million. He's getting paid. He's getting paid that $46 million salary. He gets $46 million in this season. He gets $46 million next season. So the signing bonuses are $8.9 million each. The restructure, it looks like 7.9. Yeah, I mean it's bad, bro. The cap hit is essentially $72 million in both this year and next year. It's a fully guaranteed contract. So, given that they pretty much have to pay him this year and next year, 46 million each of these two upcoming seasons with a $9 million bonus. So that puts it at around $55 million times two. The only thing that they would do is what I'm suggesting they would do is bring in somebody and just say he's an expensive backup or whatever. But, maybe they cut him next year and they just say the franchise needs to move on. We're just going to take this hit. But what a debacle. Worst trade, worst contract. And if we're being honest and fair with our previous selves, he was good at one point before the ACL tear. There was you may not want to admit this, but there was a time where he was a top 4, top 5 fantasy quarterback. He was a top 4 to 5 NFL quarterback. The way he started his career off, he looked like an unbelievable Jalen Hurts, he was better than Jalen Hurts trajectory-wise at one point in his career. And he completely fell off. Yeah. And as I always say, and this happened with Josh Gordon, it happens with other players, it's kind of happening with Ridley still. When you leave football for an extended period of time and you come back, you just can't ever get back in that advantage that you had, being better than everybody around you. You just fall behind and you can never catch up. So Deshaun Watson he fell apart. The whole off-season, legal situation just drained him mentally, physically. What a collapse. And I'll admit, we all liked him when he was potentially going to Atlanta, and in the 11th hour, the Browns stepped in and offered the dumbest contract ever. He actually had an Atlanta jersey on, according to reports. And when that final deal came in that offer and he took it, he crumbled up the Atlanta Falcons jersey and stuffed it in the corner pocket of his pool table. And there's a photo of him holding up a Browns jersey or hat. I forget which one he was holding. And you can see the Atlanta Falcons jersey in the corner pocket shoved into the pool table. That was such a close call. But back then, I very much wanted him in Atlanta. So it was tough to say where his career was going to go. He had so much upside and promise, but Watson's trash. As we said all offseason, he was going to fail this year. Everybody called in. Remember, a couple people called in and said, "You're going to be wrong, Smitty. You watch. Watson's going to bounce back." We're like, "No, he's not. He's done, bro. He's trash."
No. He's done.
All right. Anything else, bro?
All
right, rock out. We'll see you later, bro. Appreciate you. TM. What can I do for you? You're live.
Yeah, hey, Smitty. I was wondering if you're opening up any dynasty spots or for the new one you're
we'll have two to give away. They'll probably be given on the Patreon in some sort of contest, that I'll announce here, and people in the Patreon can try and grab it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So look out for the details on that. Probably be some sort of contest that I'll create. I don't know. Probably two separate different contests. The winner would be voted on by the channel, but they're going to be picked from the Patreon.
All right. I'll be looking out for that then.
All right, my boy. We'll see you later.
All right. Cool.
Yep. Super chat from Soap. Smitty, putting in the work, don't have work so we don't have to. This man is a national treasure. Love the open convo environment and valuable info. Thank you, Soap. Appreciate you dropping the $5 holler, my boy. Coming in strong with the super chat. Let's take 2 more calls, and then we might
Call into the show.
wrap it up.
Call into the show.
Call into the Attic.shop phone line. Do it live. I don't know. We'll take, let's say, 2 more calls, and then we might wrap this bad boy up. Just kind of make it a short show tonight. I got some stuff I got to do on thefantasyfootballshow.com. Make sure you're all subscribed up and ready to rumble. The season's going to be off the hook. Here's the lineup of these are just the rankings that I have on thefantasyfootballshow.com. Dynasty, top 200, Superflex, rookie rankings, super rookie rankings, ADP rankings. The ADP rankings aren't updated. There's nothing there yet. Weekly rankings, obviously, that's an in-season feature. Superflex, Dynasty, Superflex top 200, redraft rankings, and then, of course, the trade calculator, the bold predictions, the video courses, the articles, the color-coded new revamped website that has redraft in blue, Dynasty in green. Player pages are not guaranteed this year, but I am working on them. That's hence what I'm doing tonight, which is why I'm just going to say, you know what I'm going to call it, since we're a little slow tonight. And the off season is going to hit people differently. I hope that everybody realizes this is a 365-day-a-year show. We don't sleep. We don't take days off. Nothing. But I'm going to take advantage of being able to get the site, cranking, some articles and posts created. So make sure you get on over to thefantasyfootballshow.com and get your membership on. There's a lifetime membership, so you pay once and never pay again. Do it live. Here's the link right now. I'm going to pin this on the live chat. Smash that thefantasyfootballshow.com link right there. Get in there and look at these rankings, man. Look at all those rankings. Appreciate you all. Phone lines are open real briefly, and then we're going to get out of here. And I may come back for a Dynasty show tonight. We might do a Skattebo and Jeanty show tonight. Number 1 and number 2 rookie running backs on the Dynasty channel. Smitty, how do I subscribe to the Dynasty channel? Well, let me drop that Dynasty link for you, pal. Here it is right here. Smash that link. Subscribe. Don't be a worried William. Don't be a petrified Peter. Don't be a forgetful Freddie or a worried William. Just make sure you are subscribed. You got notifications on, and I will help guide you through your Dynasty troubles and waters as well. The Dynasty channel is going to be off the hook this offseason. I don't even know if my phone lines are even working. I got to restart them. I'll see you all tonight, probably on the Dynasty channel. Unless news breaks, we'll go live on this main channel. So get subscribed up. Here's the link one more time. If you don't subscribe now, you won't know when I go live tonight. I'll see you all tonight. And what else did I have here? I had something else here that I was working on something. Oh, I did add this.
To Jupiter.
So now we have any $20 haulers will get the Jupiter button. Any $10 haulers will get the Saturn button.
To Saturn.
Any $5 haulers
to Mars.
will get the Mars, and
To the moon.
And I don't know if we're hitting anything for anything else, but it would be moon. But
to Jupiter.
Finally adding that bad boy. It took me a while to add the Mars one for whatever reason. I didn't want that to be the case this year. See you all later. Congrats to our boy Skattebo, who is the first Mars man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man. The moon man.
Dylan Sampson, Tennessee rookie running back. Congrats on being the first moon man.
The Saturn men.
Bucky and Jeanty.
Small step for man, one giant leap for
Saturn. Don't forget, we've got 2 Jupiter men.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large. Every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
I can't believe we have 6 bold predictions already on the board. It's day 1. It's January 1. It's January 1, and I've got 6 predictions already up. We're 1/4 full. A fourth of the board. Do we have to expand it to 6? I don't know if I want to. I don't think I want to. I want it to be 5 on each board. 4 boards, 5 players, 20 names. So simple. Sounds beautiful. Look at him.
Jupiter is so large.
Hey, we know
every
Bijan's
planet in
gonna
the
be on
solar
here.
system could fit in.
Like, part of me is like, do we just add Bijan right now? No, we'll announce it later. All right, appreciate you all.
Stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Through sheer science and intense aerodynamic study, the mullet of Puka Nukua has been reconstructed inside the Fantasy Football Show studios. This systematic balance of hair volume, mixed with both Quantum Atom fiber technology and L'Oreal shampoo and conditioner, creates a floating mechanism to which the world has never seen. Patent pending to see this prototype in action. See Puka on Sundays as he floats around the field.